Jason from My Geek Easy at Motor City Comic Con, and I'm here with Mark Pillow, who played Nuclear Man in Superman 4, which came out in 1984. I remember seeing that film as a double feature as a kid. I saw Superman 4 followed by Adventures in Babysitting, and so that will always stick out in my mind. So what was it like to play Nuclear Man?
Oh, wonderful. Especially working with Chris and getting to play a superhero and to dress up in spandex with a cape on. I mean, everybody dreams about that, don't they? It was a great experience.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So you went right to my next question. What was it like to work with the icon, Superman himself? I mean, he just is Superman, right? With Christopher Reeves.
He is. It's amazing to see when he would put on that costume, he just became Superman. Incredible looking. And I'd say people, when you think of movie stars out normally, maybe on the street, that's a man that would definitely stand out if you'd notice him.
Yeah.
So very giving, very helpful when it came to flying shots and making it look as real as possible. He was incredible.
Yeah, that's all I've ever heard, is that he just was like who Superman is, what Superman embodies, just a good all-around guy, very giving, very kind to everyone.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Now, he did a lot more on the other side of the camera from this one, from what I understand. Like, he kind of was producing and that kind of stuff. Did he have his hands in, like, how the shots were being done, things like that?
Well, the moon shots, that fight was all him.
Wow.
So he was doing second unit on that. A lot of the story was his, so very much involved in the whole process, the whole storyline, and then directing the moon, which was really important to him. And he was taskmaster. We covered everything. We worked at it, and I learned a lot just from watching him and his setups and him explaining coming into landing and flying, that kind of thing, because he has such experience with it.
So talk a little bit about that practical side of things, because, in today's day and age, it's all CGI and computer and stuff, and it was much more of like the practical effects and the set. I mean, you filmed a scene where you fought Superman on the moon.
Yes.
So what was that like? What were some of the behind the scenes things you can talk to us about?
Well, I think that, when you're filming in fight scenes, this is my thing too, especially when there's wires involved like that, you just don't want to hurt yourself or each other. And getting the angles right and making it look, of course, believable, that type of thing. And on a uneven surface, so it's a bit of challenges to it. But just the idea of making it look like these were two special creatures who were fighting to the death. So, quite the experience.
Yeah, and like how much rehearsal time did you put into choreographing the fight scenes with all of the the wires and stuff before you actually started rolling?
Quite a bit of rehearsal, because again, the big thing is making it look as real as possible but not hurting each other.
Right.
Because both strong men and pretty physical and pretty amped up, must say. Yeah. I know he was and I was too. So I'm sure it shows that it was pretty intense.
Yeah, I bet. So let's talk about, the quest for peace and what that film was about. I mean, you're talking the Cold War, the nuclear threat that was a huge part of the 80s, and this film took that stuff head on.
Yes.
How do you think that it first of all, represents what that decade was like, but also today? I mean, we've kind of in some ways come full circle.
We have. I mean, it's also poignant today. Everything we're going through now, the fears that we have now, all come back to this idea of why do we still have nuclear weapons? We need to rid the world of them. It's just there's no place in humanity for this type of thing. And yet keeping that threat, and Hackman says a line in it, I just want to keep the threat alive. And just the fear, and of course fear is the great danger because it keeps us in line. And right now we look at the world and it's incredibly unfortunate to see that we're still at that point. And the movie had tried to address that.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to interview you. Yeah.